Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having us. Let me share my screen, get the presentation kicked up. I don't have super fancy slides, so I'm not the design person. So I'm sure Gage is gonna kill it with his design on his presentation, but I got some good content hopefully to share with you. So first off, thank you so much for having us. As if you don't know, my name is Caleb Nochumson. I'm one of your vice presidents. And I get to talk to you today a little bit about how to take your network to the next level. And let me actually minimize that so you guys can see. Can everybody see the presentation all right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Cool. Awesome. So um, really, I'm a very outgoing individual, so please feel free to come out off mute, talk, share about your experience. This presentation is really about networking and getting to know each other, and getting to hopefully provide you guys a little bit of tips and tricks to really help elevate your networking skills. So really feel free to be open and chatting and really get to know each other. So a little bit quickly, I know that we have two guest speakers today, and I want to definitely be respectful of all your time. So hopefully I'll keep this fairly short. We have a lot of good content, hopefully, to get through, and a couple really fun activities. But I'm going to give you a little bit of background about me, and really give you an understanding of how at least I've built my network and the reasons why I networked with certain individuals and kind of developed into the individual that I am, or at least that I hope to be, inspired to be. We're going to talk a little bit about your network is your net worth. I know this is a concept that most of you have probably heard about, but we're going to dive deeper into what that actually kind of means. Hopefully, I'll be able to give you some tips and tricks on how to build an effective network. And then we'll do a little bit of a networking activity, and I'll hopefully share with you some resources, and we can do a little Q&A session as well. And I really would like to see all of your beautiful faces. Okay, I'm gonna keep this in the corner right there, and hopefully it doesn't show off a little bit weird. But so in this workshop, hopefully I will be able to help you guys gain at least one new networking skill and help you effectively use it. I want to help make sure that you are able to utilize available resources to effectively build a network. Hopefully, I can help you guys learn the basic concepts on how to create a long-term sustainable network, and hopefully we'll have some fun and get to meet some new people and really get to engage and interact and have a great time, because obviously as the year comes to an end and as ICDC comes around, we're going to have some great opportunities to meet some new people, and I'm really excited to get to know all of you, and it's going to be an absolute blast. So a little bit about me, a little bit about my background. I attended the University of Arizona and I studied management information systems. For those who don't know what MIS is, it's kind of like a mix between IT and business. I liked the new and exciting what technology was, and I loved being able to use that technology to build effective business solutions, right? I joined Collegiate DECA my sophomore year. So for all those who may be freshmen, sophomores, juniors, or this is your first year of DECA, you can do a lot in Collegiate DECA, and you can really grow as an individual in a very short period of time, especially this year, if you really utilize your network effectively. So I just wanted to share, yeah, I joined my sophomore year. I've only been in DECA for about 3 years, never really did it in high school. I did FBLA. I know it's big, scary words, FBLA, right? But I joined DECA my sophomore year. Um, Throughout my experience in DECA, I was the co-chair of finance, vice president of finance, vice president of my chapter, vice president of the state, and now executive vice president. So you could call me just pro vice president. That's kind of what happened with my career, but really, it's really exciting because I got to go through a whole bunch of different roles, and I know your leaders especially have gone through all those different roles as well. So there's a lot of areas to grow. Additionally, while I went through school and while I was going through DECA, I was also working. I know most of you probably have jobs and internships as well. So for me, all through college and still now, I work for one company and that's Geico. You know, the lizard save 15% or more on car insurance. Now they actually changed the slogan to over 75 years of savings and experience. So I don't know why, but we changed to that. But I worked at Geico, and through college, these are just the roles or the titles that I had through college, right? So I was a Geico billing intern, then I became a part-time associate, full-time associate. I did a leadership development internship, IT intern, and then I became a software analyst. I can't talk. An IT scrum master, and then a project manager. And the cool thing about this is all through my DECA experience and all through my work experience, I was always recommended for a role, and it wasn't me applying for these roles. It was always people saying, Caleb, this would be a good fit for you. I've networked with you. I've got these roles that I achieved by utilizing my network, right? So I'm not saying I'm perfect, because by far there's no way I am, right? There's a lot that I still need to learn about networking and really growing as a professional. But all the roles that I've had throughout my college career, whether it be in DECA, whether it be in my professional job, was all obtained through my network. So really keep that in mind, that if you make connections with people and you get to know people and you have some fun with individuals, they remember that kind of thing. And then also, just for fun little facts, I placed second at ICDC for event planning, and then I did first place at the state conference in Arizona for sales management meetings. So I'm a very outgoing individual. So I like talking, I like getting to know people. And if you're not like me, maybe you're more inner introverted, hopefully I'll have some tips and tricks to maybe help you as well with your networking as well. So it's not all about these extroverts. You don't need to be this giant extrovert like me to network effectively, but you can also get some really fun tips and tricks as an introvert. But this presentation isn't about me, it's about you, right? So let's do a fun little icebreaker. So I'm hoping that we have breakout rooms available. Do we? We do have breakout rooms? Awesome. So let's break out rooms into rooms of 2 to 3 people. I don't know how many people we have on the call, so I'll let your leadership team decide whether or not we want to do 2 or 3 individuals in a breakout room. But we'll do it for 2 minutes. And the goal is, when you get in this breakout room, I want you to make a list of everything you have in common with the other person, right? As many things as you possibly can. And it can be random things, it can be silly things, it can be fun things, it can be DECA related, it could be non-DECA related, it could be work or school, whatever it may be. But let's do, just for 2 minutes, try to come up with the biggest list of things that you have in common with other individuals. So Allison, I will let you. Okay, and I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. So have fun, everyone.
Hello.
I love that. You walk in and it's like this meeting is being recorded. No, how is I think we'll give it a couple more seconds that people get in here. Some are finishing up their calls.
All
FL,
will
how are
be
you
here
doing?
in 9 seconds. I'm good. I'm good. I somehow just woke up because during time difference, but I'm pretty good
So,
now.
what time is it for you right now?
I'm 9:30 a.m. right now.
9:30. Wait, so you like 9:30 a.m.?
Yeah, right
So where are
now.
you at?
I'm in a country called Indonesia.
Oh wow, that's really cool. Gage, did you hear that? FL is from is in Indonesia right now. That's awesome.
Yeah, we actually have a number of international students. So yeah.
Wait, so raise your hand if you're an international student. I'm just curious to.
I was
Oh
freaking.
wow.
Sorry, guys. So you guys are studying from home then because of COVID this year or this semester? Or
Yeah.
are you allowed to study online at any time?
I'm
Yeah,
in the
because-
US now.
Oh, you're in the US now. Got it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So that's like half of them. Like half of your chapters is international students. That's so cool. I think
Yeah.
that's really
How
cool.
many did you get in common with your group? 'Cause I think we got a pretty good number in my group.
Let me.
That's awesome. Yeah, so did anyone learn anything exciting about somebody? I learned a lot about Sydney and Charlene. Chaos and Charlene, I am so sorry. I am I am so sorry. I'm terrible with names. You're gonna find out real quick. That's something that I need to definitely work on, is remembering names. But I learned some really exciting things. Like, for example, Karis works at an art studio, which is really cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome. And then Charlene, they both were actually teammates at the Intuit Challenge, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, we have I think Christy, Adele, Karis, and Charlene. They were four teammates, so they were all living in different areas somewhat. So then they had to like coordinate different time zones. So that was really neat.
That's a cool experience. That's a really cool experience. Definitely put that on a resume. I had to coordinate with 4 individuals across multiple time zones to compete and win a challenge. I think that's really cool. Awesome. So what was the largest number? Who had the biggest list of things in common? 6? 6? Did somebody beat 6? Anyone beat 6?
We got 17.
17.
Oh,
I think they beat you, Gage, just a little bit.
But yeah, it was a really fun activity. So.
Well, it's a fun little icebreaker that you get to do. I know a lot of chapters like doing it. So we'll move on to we'll move right on in and talk a little bit about content, right? So when we're doing networking, there was a guy and his name is Tim Sanders. And I don't know if you ever heard of him before. I've never heard of him until I was actually writing out this quote, but I knew the quote. What? Oh, did I stop sharing?
Yeah.
Oh. No, you're good. I'm glad you let me know. Let me share my screen again. Can you guys see my screen again?
Oh yes.
Okay. So there was a guy, his name was Tim Sanders. I've never knew who he was. I don't know anything about him. But I know his quote by heart, and it's, "Your network is your net worth." It actually came from his book. And I'm sure most of you have heard this quote before, but something that's so exciting about this, at least that's fascinating to me about this quote, is that basically this quote, I've never heard the guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him, but I know his quote, right? I know it by heart, and it's one of the quotes that I get to live my life by, right, is this quote. So really, your network can go expand so much farther than you may ever be able to actually interact with people. So if you build a right network and you do it the right way, you can have some real influence on individuals. So I want to ask you guys, why do we network? What is the point of networking? I know you might have saw a little glance on that other slide, but share some ideas. Why do we network with individuals? What's the point?
Anyone want to answer?
If not, we can just go over the reasons why we network with individuals. I think there's some people in the chat maybe who are saying some stuff. To meet like-minded individuals. I agree. Share ideas, meet like-minded individuals. That's a great reason why. Learn from others is a good one as well. Absolutely. You get to learn from others. You get to share like-minded individuals. And networking really benefits all parties involved. So really, oh, it looks like we got some other people in chat. Gain additional resources. Exactly. So why do we network? So leaders create value from the virtue of their relationships, right? When we talk about leadership, I only create value for you by me being able to introduce and help and move your life or introduce you to somebody else. But my relationship with you is what generates the value. Me as an individual, if I don't know you, I don't talk to you, I don't interact with you, I'm not creating any value for you. And as a leader, we know that the main goal of a leader is to generate value for others, right? So that's one of the big reasons why we network. Your next job or internship could depend on it, right? Maybe your next job or internship is going to be word of mouth, kind of like how every single one of mine have been. Word of mouth, next job, next opportunity, next promotions is because I networked with an individual, right? You may need a favor one day from someone, right? Maybe tomorrow I wake up and I say, hey, Gage, I need help with this project. Can you help me? Well, if I've networked with Gage and I've gotten to know Gage and we're on a first name basis and we have really interacted with each other and he knows that I'm a good, honest individual, he's going to be more inclined to help me one day with that favor, right? It might lead you to better opportunities. Maybe by me networking with Allison, I get to meet one of her contacts and she knows the vice president of the United States. I don't know. Maybe who knows the people that she has, right? And maybe that will lead to a better opportunity. It's a skill that you can practice. And I think this is such a powerful one. Networking is a skill. It's not a personality trait. I want to make that very clear. Networking is a skill you can develop. It's not something that you're forced to do. And then obviously you can care about others as well. If you care about others, networking is a great opportunity for you to get to know other individuals and help them, right? So on the other side of that, when I talk to people, I ask people, why are you afraid to network, right? Because most people get lots of very anxious fears when it comes to networking. And if I'm going too slow, let me know and I can speed it up or I can move. So I just want to make sure that I'm keeping you guys' time on track. I was just looking down at the clock and it said 9:30, but I just wanted to make sure that I was.
You got like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and then I'll go.
Cool. All right, awesome, cool. So the fears of networking, right? The big fears of networking, people experience the uncertainty factor, right? When you are uncertain about a situation, you get all antsy about it, right? Maybe that's how you feel during competition. You get all antsy about it. And I don't know if I'm going to win. I don't know if I'm going to lose. I don't know if I'm going to do well. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's that uncertainty factor. But I like phrasing it as a factor because it's really, you can mitigate that feeling if you know how to network properly. And I'm going to teach you how to do that, right? People don't know how to prepare. How do you prepare for networking with someone, right? That's weird. It's weird if I meet somebody brand new, right? And I don't know them. How do I talk to them and how do I build a connection with them? That's really strange. And that kind of leads into the third one, right? People feel uncomfortable about dealing with strangers. If I don't know you and I've never met you before, how can I make it nice and fun and make you feel like you're in a good situation? And then the last one, obviously, people feel anxious about approaching others. It's kind of weird to go up to somebody and say, hi, my name is Caleb. Will you help me get this job opportunity, right? That's a little weird. So there's things that we can do and some skills that I'm going to show you guys how to do that will hopefully help with these. So as I said, what if I could fix those fears? Would that make you guys feel a little bit better about networking with individuals? I think it would help. I think it would help. I know for me, I think it would definitely help. I think for me, the biggest one is that I don't know how to approach others, right? If I didn't know how to approach others, I think that would be something that could be helpful. So hopefully I'll be able to help fix your fears. And I'm going to break down networking into 5 basic steps, okay? And the first one, networking contains 5 parts: the introduction, the conversation, the ask, the conclusion, and the follow-up. That's it. If you remember those 5 words, you can network with anybody. I guarantee it 100% of the time. And the reason why that I included those is because networking is not networking unless you have an ask and a follow-up. Okay? A conversation is different than networking. Me talking to you is different than me networking with you. And I want to make that very clear, because there's a difference between me engaging with you as a friend and getting to know you and just being kind of hanging out with others and getting to know each other, right? That's different than actually networking with an individual, right? So you need to have all 5 parts to really be considered networking with an individual. So jumping right into it, introduction. So the number one thing is, before we even get to the introduction, are you intentional with building your relationships, right? When I build my relationships with someone, there was a reason why I'm reaching out to them before. They might not know it, right? They might not know it. They might not even care about it. They might not even know that it exists, but there was an intentional reason why I'm reaching out to someone, and I'm intentional about who I'm reaching out to, right? If I reach out and I connect with Gage on LinkedIn, there's a reason, whether it be me just wanting him in my life and him influencing my life, that can be a reason, but there was an intentional reason behind me reaching out to Gage, right? Me reaching out and connecting with Allison on LinkedIn, that is an intentional reason, right, for why I'm reaching out. Figure out who matters most, right? You can't, if I spend all my time interacting with every individual always, I'm never going to have time to meet those key individuals, right? So when it comes to you networking and you using your networking mindset, you want to make sure that you figure out who matters most, right? Find easy ways to engage with everyone else. So I'm going to focus on the key individuals, and I'm going to spend all my time and effort on the key individuals, but I don't want to forget about everybody else, because maybe somebody else has a task that is actually going to help me in the future. So find easy ways to engage with them, right? Interact with them on LinkedIn and shoot them a, hey, I hope you're doing well text, right? A, hey, I hope maybe one day we can reach out and grab some lunch, or how have you been, or what are you up to? What's new and exciting in your life, right? What great accomplishments have you done in the last 30 days, right? That kind of thing. And if you're not actively networking with those individuals, just make sure that you keep in touch with them. If you want to connect with someone, find a way to help them, right? If I'm reaching out to Gage and I say, hey, Gage, I want you to come to my meeting, or hey, Gage, I want you to come to this event, or I need your help with this, right? Before I can do that, I need to set my credibility with them, right? I need to set my credibility and say, how can I help you, Gage, right? If I approach Gage, it's not about what Gage can do for me, it's how I can help Gage, right? So keep that in mind as you are going and approaching that introduction. So if you want to connect with someone, find a way to help them. And when you're looking at those key individuals, think about how you can help those key individuals, right? Be intriguing. I think one thing that's really fun and exciting is when you talk to somebody and you kind of have an idea of what they're looking to aim to do, but they're keeping you just on the edge of your seat to where you don't necessarily know 100% everything about them, right? And you kind of want to learn a little bit more. When I talk to you, the more I talk to you, I want to learn more about you, right? So if you can build that type of confidence in there, that really helps. Think people, not positions. When I do networking, it's not about the position. It's not about the role. When I first meet somebody in the introduction, right? We're not at that ask part yet. We're at the introduction phase. And the introduction, it's about you, right? It's okay. What can I do for Sydney, right? That's exactly what I'm looking for. It's about Sydney. It's not about me. It's not about my job opportunity. It's not about me getting that internship. It's literally just that. give before you ask, right? Before I ask anything, I want to give something, whether it be me showing up to a meeting. For example, if I'm showing up to Allison's meeting, if I now asked Allison to do something in the future, she's going to be more intrigued to do that because I help provide value to her already, right? Be generous and build credibility. I think being a credible individual and being generous and wanting to help others is a great way to get that introduction, past that introduction phase. So now we know who we're contacting, right? I am going after Gage. He's the man in the room. He's the president of Collegiate DECA. He is the one that I need something from. And now I have to approach the conversation, right? Well, when I approach the conversation, there's something that I want you to always remember. Gage has a sign on him. I don't know if you can see it, but he has a sign on him. He says, "Make me feel important." Right? Gage wants to always feel important in his room. And that's something that we all have. Everybody has a sign on them that says, "Make me feel important." So how do I make Gage feel important? I'm going to talk about everything in his life that is important to him, right? I'm going to ask him about his family. I'm going to ask him about his work, right? Gage, how are you doing at work? Are you enjoying your job? And he's going to say, "Yes, I love it. I've gotten this promotion. I'm meeting all these great people." He's having a blast. "Hey, Gage, what do you do on your free time?" "Oh, I love hanging out with," I don't know, Gage, what do you do on your free time? That's a good question. What are you doing?
I'm going skiing tomorrow.
You went skiing. That's awesome. Who did you go by yourself or with some friends?
I'm going with my girlfriend, actually.
You're going with your girlfriend. That's awesome. And how long have you guys been together?
Like 3.5 years.
That's really cool. That's awesome. That's really exciting. Did you when you went skiing, did you actually go down like the Black Diamond slopes, or was it
No, there's as much of Black Diamond as you can have in Minnesota.
There's a bunch of them, or there's not a bunch of them?
No, it's like a glorified hill.
It's a glorified hill, so it's like a tiny slope, right? So
yeah.
By me interacting with Gage, right, I'm helping build that credibility, and I'm making him feel important. I'm making him feel like, okay, it's all about his ski trip. It has nothing to do with me asking Gage for, "Hey, can you help run this meeting with me?" Right, and 2 sentences later. But right now, Gage is focused on that conversation of, "Oh, we're going skiing and he's really interested in skiing. Maybe Caleb wants to learn how to ski," whatever it may be, right? Ask questions. Did you see that? Most of the time I was asking him questions. Every sentence I had was asking him a question. I wasn't saying much about me. I didn't say, "Oh, my favorite recreation activity is bowling," right? After he just said, "I love skiing." I wasn't like, "I love bowling," right? I asked him, "Oh, well, who did you go with?" "Oh, I went with my girlfriend." "Great. How long have you guys been together?" "Oh, 3 years." "That's awesome," right? "Did you guys go on the really steep hills," right? Those types of things. It's all about him. So ask lots of questions, and open-ended questions help a lot. Do your research. Know about what Gage is kind of into. So I know, for example, Gage loves talking about leadership and building confidence and really helping you be the best leader you can. So maybe my next point is, okay, Gage, I know that you went skiing. That's really awesome. I had a quick question for you. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about your leadership philosophy. How did you do XYZ? How did you get to your role? How did you get to your position? What were some of the key concepts that you learned, right? And then remember people's names. This is the one thing that I struggle the most with, and I did screw it up when I was on my in our group. I called Karis somebody else, and I apologize, Karis. Remember people's names. It's so important to remember people's names, and I struggle with that. So if you have any ideas on how to help me remember people's names, please reach out, connect with me, because I could definitely use some advice on that as well. So we're going to do a quick LinkedIn activity. This one we can all chill in the same room, but I want you to see this. Connect with as many people as you can on LinkedIn who are in this meeting in 60 seconds. So pull out your phones if you have LinkedIn downloaded. If you don't have a LinkedIn, now's your chance for 60 seconds to make a LinkedIn, I guess. So see if you can connect with as many people in this meeting. You have everybody's names on Zoom. Start connecting with people and see if you can find some individuals. The first one I'm going to go after is FL. So let me see. Oh, there you go. You're putting a link in the chats. That's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it. In
Dang,
fact.
man, you guys are ahead of
That's
the
a
curve.
smart way to do it.
Smart
I want to do that.
articles.
Look at that.
That's what I'm gonna do too.
Contact info. You should be able to find mine. Mine's linkedin.com/Caleb Nochumson, I think. Oh, I'm trying. Am I already connected?
Yeah, of course, Caleb. The easiest last name to spell.
I think I might already be Aki. I might already be connected with you. Let's see. Unless I'm doing something completely wrong and I don't know how to use LinkedIn. Oh, I have to put connect. Oh, it's in a different spot. That's why. FL, boom, I got you, FL. There you go. Accept my friend request. If not, if you want to, if you don't want to, that's cool too. You don't have to. But yeah, so definitely connect, Joel. I will connect with you, everybody in here. And if you guys want to share your LinkedIn, if you want to reach out to me via LinkedIn, I think this is just a fun way, try to connect with each other, right? I'm just connecting with everyone. So just to put that in the back of your mind, have some fun with it. Hopefully you got to connect with at least me and Gage. I'll add people after the meeting once Gage goes. I'll look through chat and make sure to add everybody else. So we've done the connection. So we've done the approach. We've done the introduction, right? We got the connection, right? We all just did the LinkedIn and we all got the connections. Now what? Now is the ask. And this could be sometimes the hardest part for individuals who are just starting, right? Before we do the ask, we want to give something before we do the ask. For example, before I ask Allison to feature this meeting on a spotlight on LinkedIn or post something in the Facebook group about how awesome I was at presenting, right? I want to definitely do the meeting for her, right? And for her organization, right? So you want to give before you ask. You want to be generous, right? You want to understand that when people's times are valuable, and I want to make this quick, and that's why I'm trying to move a little bit quicker, is because people's times are valuable. So be generous with people's time and be generous with what people are looking for, right? Know what you want, okay? When I go into a networking activity or I'm going to networking, I know exactly what I'm looking for out of somebody, right? I know exactly what they want, what I want. Whether that be I want a connection, I want a job opportunity, I want you to put me in touch with the guy who has the opportunity. That could be a thing, right? A lot of the job opportunities I got was through mutual connections, right? So I connect with you, I connect with Gage, and Gage says, hey, I don't have any opportunities, but I know for a fact, he has got a ton of opportunities in IT. Go talk to him. I'll even make an introduction for you, right? Know what the person can provide. That's one of the biggest things that a lot of people make a mistake. They'll approach me and they'll say, hey, Caleb, can you do X, Y, and Z for me, right? And that'll be completely out of my power. Yeah, sure, I would love to help you. But I can't provide you a first place trophy, right? I don't have that power. You can ask me for a first place trophy at ICDC, but I don't have that power. I can help you look at ICDC and I can help you make sure that your presentation and you know what you're doing, but I can't provide you that first place trophy, right? I can provide you the link to the interview, but I can't guarantee that you'll get the job, right? But the ask, and then the last thing is the ask does not need to be tangible, but it does need to move you in the right direction. And when I say it needs to move you in the right direction, sometimes by me networking with Gage, I'm not asking for anything tangible. I'm asking that he begins to develop a relationship with me, right? That's what I'm asking him to do when I network with Gage or I network with Allison. Maybe I don't need anything from Allison at the moment, right? But I'm asking Allison, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn just so I could get to know you, right? And in the future, eventually I'm going to come to you and ask you for something. I don't know what it will be. It might be now. It might be 10 years from now. It might be 25 years from now when you're a CEO making $100 million a year doing whatever you're going to want to do, right? And I say, hey, Allison, remember me? I was the guy who did the DECA conference with you about 25 years ago. I'm looking for that job opportunity. Do you have any IT roles, right? Do you know anyone that would be a good fit for me to go to, right? That kind of thing. So you don't need anything right now, but you want to make sure that it moves you in the right direction. And then lastly, the conclusion, right? So the conclusion is after you ask. So, hey, I just asked you for something, right? And now I want to wrap up the conversation, right? I asked you, great. We had a good conversation. At the end of our networking session, I want you to be, I want to be genuinely interested in other people, right? I want to be genuinely interested in your life. So after this event, I want to get to know Allison a lot better. I want to get to know FL a lot better. I want to know Sydney a lot better. All these different people, Adele, I want to know you a lot better, right? Throughout it, as you end the conversation, you want to be smiling, right? You should be happy, right? You just networked with somebody. Smile, have fun, engage, and enjoy it. Remember their name, be a good listener, and encourage others to talk about themselves, right? Towards the conclusion, okay, great, we're ending it off. I got to listen to you. I got to learn about Gage's ski trip, and I got to encourage him to talk about himself. That's the main goal of me networking with him, right? Talk in terms of what other people's interests. WIFDM is an acronym. It actually is the friends, family, whatever the 5 things. Occupation, I think. WIFDM. There's some acronym in it. I don't remember what the acronym is, which is really funny because I put it on the PowerPoint. But there's an acronym. Look it up. Maybe you can tell me. Network with me and let me know what the acronym is if you can find it. And then you want to make other people feel important, and you want to do it sincerely, right? When I make you feel important and I make you do that sincerely, that's how you're going to be intrigued to help me in the future, right? And then lastly, after you had that wonderful conversation, you got that ask, you did what you want, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. I can't say follow up more. So many opportunities are blown by individuals who have one conversation with somebody and then never talk to them again. For example, I'll give you a perfect example of this. I was at work today, and this happened completely randomly. I was on a project, and I sent out an email to a team of 65 people. Never met these people before, don't know who they are, don't know anything. I just needed a point of contact. I got a response back from the guy who hired me in Geico 3 years ago, who I haven't met or I haven't talked in like 3 years, right? Next week, we're going to connect and grab lunch or at least chat via IM and get to know each other and see what we're doing with our lives again, right? And turns out he is now working in the application team that I was trying to contact. So he might be able to point me to my point of contact that I was looking for, right? All because he remembered my name, he saw my email, and I followed up with him a couple of times throughout, right? All my contacts, whenever I move teams, whenever I meet new individuals, I always try to at least shoot them a text. Hey, how have you been? It's been 6 months. How have you been, right? There's a great term that my dad uses, and I can't believe I'm quoting my dad at a DECA event, but he says, keep dripping on people, right? Keep dripping on people. And that quote really is just no matter what, just keep dripping on them, right? If I don't talk to Allison in a couple weeks, shoot Allison a, hey, how are you doing? All right, what's new and exciting with you? If I don't talk to Gage in a couple weeks, hey Gage, what's exciting in your life? Well, what's new with you, right? How's the job going, right? What's exciting? That kind of thing. And that really helps. If you get something from somebody, send them a thank you note, right? Give someone a call, send an email, add them on LinkedIn, and take them out to lunch. That might be a little bit difficult to do in the middle of a pandemic, but if you want to, you can take them out to lunch, maybe a Zoom lunch. I've always wanted to try to do a Zoom lunch. So that's some of the things that you can do as a follow-up. And then briefly, I know I'm probably way over, so Gage, I apologize. I want to go real quick on how to create a long-term sustainable network. Real quick, I'm going to give you just 3 points. The first one, go in with no expectations, right? The best networks are those that happen naturally. Just go in, do it, enjoy it, have fun with it. Go in with no expectations, but go in with a decision, right? Go in, be targeted in your approach, but go in with no expectations that this person will be able to help me, right? It's all about me providing value to them. constant and effective communication, consistently drip, 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 follow up, follow up, follow up, right? If you consistently build a effective communication with people, they're going to be very inclined to help you in the future. And that's how you build those strong relationships, right? Me talking to you once isn't going to build a strong relationship. Me consistently following up with effective communication is going to build a strong relationship. And then obviously relationships over everything else. If you can't provide me that job opportunity, fine, no big deal. I'll find the next job opportunity, right? I can't replace your relationship. If I intentionally try to network with you, Gage, and for some reason something happens and I got kicked out of executive office or whatever happened, I'm going to still maintain that relationship because that's more important than the roles I'm in, than what I can provide you. It's me making sure that I'm building that relationship, because no matter what, change is inevitable, right? Eventually, sometime down the road, Gage is going to have something that I might be able to help out with. And if I kept that relationship over everything else, he's going to think of me on the back of his head. Hey, remember that guy? His name is Caleb Nochumson. He would be great for this position. I think I should reach out to him, and he'll know my name. I'll be one of his close friends that he can reach out to at any point in time, right? That type of thing is how you build a long-term successful networking. Lastly, a couple resources. Your chapter leadership team does DECA Inc. resources on how to network and interact with others. Reach out to friends, family, and professionals you know. Myself, I'd love to help if you want to get in touch with someone. If I can help you point someone in the right direction, I'm more than happy to. I'm sure Gage exactly feels the same way. Feel free to reach out to us, and we're here to help. So I really appreciate it. I know I went a little bit over, so I apologize. Gage, I especially apologize to you for stealing up some of your time. But
You're good.
I think that's about it. So that's all
All right,
I have.
guys. Thank you, Caleb. I'm going to dive right into it. Caleb, if you can stop sharing, I'll start sharing. I'll knock this out in 20 minutes. I know everybody's time is precious. Let me get my presentation going. First off, as you guys may or may not know, my name is Gage Donovan. I'm 2020-2021 International Collegiate DECA President. I'm very thankful that I have the opportunity to be here today. I'm going to be talking to you guys about personal leadership in the fastest way that I possibly can. What we're going to go over today, welcome and introduction. We're doing that right now. I usually like to go around and get a little bit out of everybody, but being on the time crunch that we are, I'm glad we're connected on LinkedIn and we can network in that manner. We'll go through my personal leadership journey, what it is to be a great leader, your leadership style. There's going to be a quiz integration, but I'll leave that on you guys to take that after, and we can have some interaction virtually afterwards. We'll talk about what leadership traits and characteristics are, and then some leadership opportunities within DECA specifically. So kicking it off, my leadership journey. My DECA journey as a whole started as a sophomore in high school when I kind of joined DECA on a whim. My football coach also happened to be the DECA advisor. So he convinced myself and some of my other buddies that were in football to convince DECA, with the one exception that we would get a cookie as long as we went to the very first meeting. He followed through on his end. We followed through on our end. By the time we got to our first competition, we were all very nervous, still not really sure what to expect. But at that very first awards ceremony, hearing our names get called that we were finalists and we were going to be headed to the state competition, it was something I really couldn't explain, something that sticks with me till today. I like to call it DECA fever. It's something that I've contracted and I really can't get rid of it. I'm really in love with this organization and all that it's brought to me. Let's fast forward a little bit to my senior year in high school. I made it to my very first International Career Development Conference in Atlanta, Georgia. It was definitely the best DECA experience I'd had up to that point. And it was something that really led me to think, Gage, this really can't be the end of your DECA journey. Now, if we slow down a little bit and we talk about my other leadership positions within high school, I was never in a DECA leadership position in high school because I was a 3-sport varsity captain across multiple years of my high school years. So I didn't really have time to be in DECA, or I was in DECA. I didn't have time to have a leadership position within DECA. So we fast forward, my summer going into my first year at college, I discovered that my college had a DECA chapter. So myself and somebody else that I went to high school with who was also in DECA, we decided we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we didn't at least check out the very first meeting. So we went into the first meeting and we immediately fell in love. As I hope many of you have experienced, being in Collegiate DECA is much more of a family-like atmosphere, student-led. It's really everything that you want to be able to see. It's grown me to the realization that high school DECA really prepares you for college, and then Collegiate DECA prepares you for life. It takes everything you're learning in the classroom, it transforms it into a real-world event. It sort of takes the classroom to the boardroom, if you want to be able to have a nice little saying to go along with that. So by the time I got to the end of my freshman year in college, I was really inspired to run for state office. It was all the things that had come to culmination with me going through my high school DECA years and my first year in Collegiate DECA. I decided to run for Minnesota Collegiate DECA president. Unfortunately, I actually did not win that role, but I was still appointed to be Minnesota Collegiate DECA officer at large. In that role, I had a great time working with my team members. We created a rather robust program of leadership, which I'm very happy to say we were able to accomplish every single item that we set out to. That's not to say it didn't come without its pitfalls. We did actually lose one of our state officers about a month before a state conference. Now, as you guys can imagine, our state conference is like the biggest event that we have as state officers throughout the year. So we had to be able to persevere through that, and we were able to still have a very successful conference. Now, if we back it up a little bit, I'd had the opportunity to go to 3 separate international conferences within Collegiate DECA. I went to the Gage conference in New York and Chicago, as well as ICDC in Orlando. And seeing everything that the executive officer team was doing over those couple of years, it really showed me they were laying a great foundation, and I thought it was something that I could be able to grow off of. So I decided to run for executive office. I was supposed to be able to go down to Atlanta with Caleb, the rest of everybody that would have been there, and do our campaign trail there. Didn't end up working out due to the global pandemic, but we ended up having a virtual campaign trail. It ended very successfully for myself and Caleb, as we were both appointed to the executive officer team. In this role, it's definitely not what myself or Caleb or really anybody expected for this year, but I'm really trying to frame it as, if you can, a great opportunity. We're able to have all these conferences. You're in Indonesia right now. We have people from all around the globe. There's no way we would all be able to be together in person to have this DECA chapter meeting. So I'm being able to look at this as a great opportunity. If you think about when you're going to be going into your first interview for a job or an internship coming up in the next couple of years, a lot of your peers that are in similar situation, they'll walk in, they'll be like, yeah, I had to finish up my schooling during COVID. It kind of sucked, blah, blah, blah. And they won't be excited about it. But you guys can walk in, you can have that passion within you. You can say, yeah, I did go to college during COVID, but look at this. I was part of this wonderful student organization, Collegiate DECA. And we were able to take advantage of all the virtual opportunities that were given to us. I was able to have great guest speakers come in. I was able to attend these international conferences. I'm able to successfully portray myself in a Zoom setting. You look around today and there's a lot of business professionals who don't know how to share their screen. They don't know how to mute their mic. They don't know that they need to wear pants, and they get up and start walking away. I'm sure we've all seen those unfortunate videos. So that's really what it's all about. And that's my leadership journey. I know that's taking a little bit longer than I thought. What does it mean to be a great leader? I have some points on the screen. I'll read straight from it, but then I'll also elaborate. I hate it when I just read from the screen. But they'll possess the vision, courage, and strength to follow through. Now, I look at that in 2 separate ways. I think that vision, there's a lot of people that can have a great vision. They can see, this is where I want to be. But the most important part to me is being able to have that courage and that strength to be able to follow through. Sometimes you're going to know your vision. You're going to be able to have to make a decision that might not be the most popular decision, whether that's in your chapter or whether that's in a team that you're leading in a real life scenario, or a work scenario. I shouldn't say DECA is not real life, in a work scenario. And you have to be able to have that mindset that I know this is what's best. It might not be the most popular decision. I might not be making more friends because of it. But as we keep looking down, I'm able to see the destiny of the whole organization, the whole company that I'm a part of. Let's say, for example, when you're a chapter officer, most people only have the opportunity to do that for 1 to 3 years to be a chapter officer. And in most instances, it's even less than that. You have to still be able to see, if what I'm doing right now, am I going to use all of the funds at my chapter's disposal for this year? No, I'm going to have to be able to look forward at the next 5, 7, 10 years of my DECA chapter and how they can use these funds, how I can lay the groundwork for having, let's say, a mock competition, setting up fundraising opportunities and community service opportunities that we can do for years to come. Even if there's an opportunity that comes up, that's going to be far after your time at your university or within your DECA chapter. And going along with that, you have to have a high moral character, good ethics, and set great examples all the way to the end. I really like the great examples all the way to the end, especially this time of the year. We're coming up on the end of our academic school year here, and with that, there'll be a lot of change in leadership, whether that's at your chapter, association, or even the international level. And being able to have a great transition of power, if you want to say it that way, is something that's really important. You don't want to be at the end of your term and just start going all reckless and really not show that commitment to your members that you need to have. You want to make sure that you're really bringing out the strengths of the organization. In an organization like DECA, we have many key pillars, some of those being community service, being able to fundraise and having a lot of professional development opportunities. Making sure that you always have the member at the forefront of everything that you're doing is really important. And for those of you on this call that maybe are not chapter officers, I really encourage you to look at this chapter officer position and think about running this year. The one thing that happens is if you decide to run for a chapter officer position and you don't end up winning, what's the negative? Absolutely nothing. I would argue a lot of people will say you'll be back exactly where you started. I'd argue you'd be even more progressed in your professional development than when you started, because think, you're going to prepare. You're going to think about what you would do if you were in office. You're going to prepare a speech. You're going to have everything ready as if you were to take over that position. And that's just going to elevate your professional development even more. I'll move on to the next slide. This is kind of my boilerplate or my mission statement of this entire keynote that I like to have, is that we're going to take an introspective journey into your leadership style to learn the traits and characteristics needed to be a successful leader within Collegiate DECA. What do we got? We got 10 minutes still. So this quiz, I'm not going to have you guys take it right now. It usually takes around 10 to 15 minutes. If you go to decastyles.org, Caleb, if you want to type that in the chat, I encourage all of you to just open this tab up and then come back to the presentation and take it either later tonight or anytime in your leisure. It's a quiz that was actually created by a high school DECA member out of California. It has now been vetted by DECA Inc. to ensure that it has high quality standards. But what this quiz is going to do is there's going to be 4 potential options of what you're going to get for your styles. Now, it's important to remember that within all of us, we all do have all 4 of these leadership characteristics. We can be a driver, we can be an energizer, we can be a caretaker, or we can be an analyzer. And I'm going to dive into what each of those means. Being a driver. Drivers are effective, organized, and goal-oriented. Drivers are the responsible executive type leaders on your team. Now you'll notice within here, there's no description of the driver being able to make a well-laid plan, the driver being able to take care of everybody's feelings. It's important to remember all 4 of these really work in unison, both within yourself and within whatever leadership team you are a part of. So I really encourage any leadership team that I'm speaking to, have all of your leadership members take this quiz and then see where you fit. Let's say myself and Caleb are both drivers, for example. That'll lead to us both believing a lot of times that we're right, our way is the best way, and it'll kind of lead to butting heads a little bit. But if we can understand that our second, let's say my second is analyzer and Caleb's second is energizer. If we can understand what our second highest leadership quality is, we can understand that me as an analyzer, I'll be able to make a plan, and Caleb as the energizer, he'll be able to go out there and sell that plan to whoever we want to sell that plan to, whoever we want to present that plan to. So as we get into the energizer, which conveniently happens to be our next one, they're going to be very fast-paced. I might seem very fast-paced, but that's just I'm trying to get this presentation done in a timely manner. Caleb's definitely the fast-paced one out of the group. You're going to live in the moment. You're going to be very action-oriented. Energizers are the fun-loving members of a team who are optimistic and able to come up with creative solutions. You'd love to have an energizer at the front of the room when you're in a chapter meeting, because when there's a member that comes up with a very unique question or has something that needs a very unique answer, your energizer is going to be able to come up with that solution right on the spot. Everybody else will be able to come up with a well-thought-out analytical answer at some point or be able to soothe the problem. But the energizer is going to be someone where you're really going to want to be on your team. Next, we have a caretaker. Caretakers are warm, caring, and people-oriented. Count on caretakers to bring encouragement to teammates and to be considerate of the feelings and well-beings of others. The one thing that I always think of having a caretaker on a team is you really need to be conscious of who the caretakers are. Because let's say I'm a driver and I'm working with someone that's a caretaker. I'm always going to think that my plan is right and the best plan, and the caretaker is going to go along with it just because she wants to make sure that everybody's happy. She or he wants to make sure that everybody's happy. That's not always the case. That can't always be the case. I need to understand that if I'm working with someone and they're primarily a caretaker, I need to take the time to listen to all their ideas, make sure they're included in every decision, because oftentimes they will have just as good or a better idea given the situation. And finally, we have the analyzers. Analyzers are objective, efficient, and vision-oriented. As knowledgeable individuals, analyzers are gifted in making plans that are well developed, efficient, and innovative. Now, an analyzer is going to be able to have a step-by-step process of exactly how everything's going to go. But if you're in the middle of filling out this plan and taking this plan into action, and you end up having a little misstep and you have to go off cue, the analyzer might get a little frazzled. That's when we have to lean on our other people on our team. This is why I think it's very important. Every single leadership team, take this quiz. Even if you're not on a leadership team, take this quiz. Encourage some of the people that you work with on a daily, that you're part of a team, to take this. And just see how you interact with each other. I know that as we're getting to the end of the year now, once you guys take this quiz as a leadership team or whatever team you're part of, you'll see how you've been able to work through these sort of problems. But I would be willing to guess that the problems you've had to work through took much longer to resolve than if we knew this at the outset. If we knew at the outset that we have two drivers directly working with each other, we know there's going to be some fighting. We know there's going to be some disagreements. But if we're able to look past that and be able to understand, hey, this is just what our leadership style is. Let's focus on bringing out our caretaker. Let's focus on bringing out our analyzer and energizer. You'll be able to get through these problems much, much faster and more efficiently. A few leadership characteristics that I really love to highlight, especially if you're thinking about running for a leadership position. That is first and foremost public speaking. And the number one tip that I always have for people if they have any fears about public speaking is when you're presenting something, you are the only one who knows what you're supposed to say. Even if you mess up, even if you have to take a few seconds to find your spot, if you're reading off a script, nobody's going to notice. It may feel like it's 10 years when you're up there and you lost your spot and you have to re-find that spot down there. But that's something that nobody's going to be able to notice in the audience. And that's a real great way to be able to relax yourself, in my opinion, is just to be able to remember. Nobody knows what's coming. Even if you completely mess up a line, nobody knows the difference. The next is servant leadership style. This is something I see extremely important, especially in DECA, because I've always seen it when you're a leader within DECA, you're a leader amongst other leaders who are also in DECA. So it's important to be able to bring to the forefront that your main goal of being in this leadership position is to be able to lift up all the other members, get them all the resources that they need, and make sure they have the most successful DECA career as possible. And then my final piece I have is confidence. Now, when people think confidence, a lot of people I think get it a little mistaken that you have to be a massive extrovert to have a lot of confidence. That's definitely not true. Whether you're introverted or extroverted, it's just every time that you speak or how you hold yourself or your mannerisms, you want to be able to portray confidence. If I started off this meeting in the opposite way that I did, and I told you guys, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. We're in this COVID virtual world, all this. And I wasn't excited to be here. I wasn't excited to be on this virtual setting meeting with all of you wonderful people. What kind of a tone would that set for you guys? There would probably be at least 5 people who've left this meeting already. Everybody'd have their cameras off. They'd be sitting on their phones, not really checked in. So I'm able to portray that confidence and that passion. And that's something that's really able to get across to members, especially if you're in a leadership position. When we're talking about being able to get across to members, we have 3 minutes. This is something that's very important now at the Collegiate DECA level. This year, we've been able to have a reimagined mindset where we have, let's go to this slide. This is a more important slide. A reimagined mindset. We have the member at the center of everything that we do. If we look back at this slide, here's a traditional model of how most businesses run too. Everything will start at the top and it'll slowly get disseminated. By the time you get to your base member or your entry-level employee, it might be months down the line. They might never get the message. The message might be incorrect. So what we're trying to do is have the member at the heart of everything. This year, we're so excited to be able to start our Collegiate DECA 1 Diamond calls. If you guys haven't been able to be on a 1 Diamond call, it's the second Tuesday of every month at 9 p.m. Eastern time, so 6 p.m. your guys' time, so the same time that we were today. But on the second Tuesday of every month, we have topics such as leadership, professional development, how to fundraise for your chapter. We bring in great guest speakers. And recently in the past couple of months, we've had individual chapter members from all across the globe present what they've been doing this year, even their struggles. And we are able to have great conversations around that. Keep it rolling. There's 3 different types of leadership within DECA. I'm going to focus on 2 because we don't have a lot of appointed leadership positions. There's going to be your elected leaders and your natural leaders. Almost all elected leaders will start as natural leaders within the chapter. This is something that's very easy for you guys to see. It's more evident when you have in-person conferences and in-person events. When there's groups of people that start splitting up within your chapter, whoever's leading those groups, oftentimes there'll be somebody that's not actually in an elected chapter leadership position that's leading these people. I think it's very important to note that in order to be an effective leader within your DECA chapter, you don't have to be the most knowledgeable about DECA. You don't have to have won ICDC class. You just have to be able to be a great leader of people. You have to be able to get them to the right place. You have to get that information in front of them. Because as we've already talked about, everybody in DECA is a leader in their own right. They just have to have those resources in front of them to be able to succeed. My final piece here is communication. I don't think we have any time left, so I'm just going to skip all of this. If you guys want something that we're really trying to push this year that also has to do with DECA Connect, that has to do with the member-centric model, is DECA Connect. If anybody's not logged into DECA Connect or not familiar with it, shoot me either an email, a LinkedIn, Instagram, anything, and we'll get you guys set up on that. It's a really great platform that we've been able to use this year. So please feel free to share something on there. Let's say, hopefully you guys take that DECA Styles quiz. Go ahead and post your top 2 on there. I'll reply with my top 2. Maybe we can get a conversation going. I've done this presentation to many other chapters around Collegiate DECA, and maybe we can get some more conversation going within chapters. Here's my email. I'll also pop my email in the chat really quickly. I'll stop sharing. I don't want to steal your guys' time. I'll let Allison, if she has anything to close out the meeting with, let you do it. I think we're only 30 seconds over.
Gage, I'm so sorry. I feel bad, dude.
Okay, that was our speed. Allison, I just saw your message.
right.
I think that we're
Gage, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to steal all your time. I feel bad.
It's okay.
All right, I just want to say thank you guys so much for your time and for your presentations, and we're really grateful to have you here. I know I've said that in email before, but we're really glad that we had the opportunity to, have you guys over and learn from all your insights about leadership and networking. And yeah, so that's it. I was wondering, would you guys be interested in taking a group photo with us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would have been sad if we didn't.
All right.
All right,
So
let's see if we can get everybody to take their camera on if you're
Yeah.
comfortable.
if
Let's
whoever's
do it.
comfortable, that would be wonderful.
And the photo will be posted on our new website, DECA Anza. So please
Yeah.
encourage everyone to
Hey.
turn on the
Do we
cameras.
need to add the right
All right,
backgrounds?
let's throw up your best DECA diamond. How about that, everybody?
Gage, do we need to get the backgrounds in here though? Do we have to get
I
some,
don't have it. My background doesn't work.
you don't
it's
have a
okay.
good background?
No, I have it, but my MacBook, it doesn't support it anyways. So
Oh,
that's different.
okay.
All right, what we can do is, can someone, so I'll take the first photo and then if someone can take the second one so that I can add my diamond in afterwards.
Sure, I can take the second one. We can do that,
All
and
right,
I'll send.
okay.
I'll email it to you.
All right, awesome. Okay, so you guys will, I'll count down and then you'll hear a screenshot sound. So just so you know. Okay, so
Cool.
everyone ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'll take another one.
Oh,
Okay?
we do the other one. Everybody does
Perfect.
the
All
other.
right, I'll take another one here. Give me 1 second to get ready. Okay,
You-
guys, same
you do the other
situation.
one?
I'll give you a countdown, and you'll hear the click.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Boom. Beautiful. Did you want to get one more just for good measure?
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Final one. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. I'll be sure to email that to you, Allison, immediately following this, and then you can get it out to everybody or on your website, and we'll go from there.
All right, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and thank you for being here again.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
having me. I
absolutely.
appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having us. If anybody has anything from any of us, any questions, please let us know. We're really excited. Hopefully all of you guys can attend the virtual ICDC this year.
ICDC
If anybody has
2021.
any questions about that as well, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be sure to help you guys out.
Okay, thank you so much for coming to our event.
Bye, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye. See you on
Bye.
ICDC.
Also, DECA members, stay on. We have a little bit more information to give you. Thank you, Caleb.
Okay.
All right, so that was nice. Anyways, we are gonna get started with our presentation since it's already 7:20. I will start. Right. Here we go. All right, so welcome to our second DECA meeting. Today we are going to be going over some information about upcoming events and our future plans. So let's get started. All right, so upcoming events. First off, we have a new website created by our Assistant Secretary Adele. Then we have our Anza DECA Sunday Friends gift card drive, which we are starting now. In April, we have virtual ICDC. And yeah, as you see in our presentation, try out the DECA Styles test. So I'll let Eiffel or Adele or one of the fundraising committee members lead this slide.
Okay, Christy, please go ahead.
So every quarter, the Anza DECA chapter organizes donate events so that DECA members help others in need. So this time we're doing a fundraising gift card drive with Sunday Friends. At Sunday Friends, families find this supportive community and the means to break their cycle of helplessness and poverty. An integrated economic environment is filled with opportunities, not just to receive, but also to give. Families work together to earn basic necessities, and there are no handouts at Sunday Friends. While children build the developmental assets required for success, adults learn life skills and whole families transition together towards self-sufficiency. So we're hosting a gift card drive and you'll be helping us help our families receive much needed items. We're accepting gift cards from Target, Walmart, and Safeway, and you can donate through the new website from the DECA chapter. Yeah.
Okay, so just to set the record straight about how gift card drive will work, since as the title said, it's a gift card drive, so everyone will be able to donate to us, and then we'll buy the gift cards and we will send the gift cards to Sunday Friends. So as well, you can see, read, like donate to Sunday Friends, and then to encourage family and friends to donate. We want to we are really trying to make the donation as straightforward as possible. So as of now, we kind of chose like one way to do that is through our website, and for that I will leave it to Adele, like how to donate, and it's on the next slide.
Okay, so basically we're thinking about using Zelle or Venmo, but we came with the idea of our website. So as for the donation, the only thing you have to go is to click on the link that was kindly sent by Christy now in the Zoom chat, and then actually go to donate section. I can share the screen after this slide, and scroll down and click donate. Then you just put your payment information. As I understand, it doesn't require you to create any accounts, but we recommend you just to, after the donation, take a screenshot, just in case if we don't receive it. So as for the website, could I just share the screen?
Sorry, definitely. So I just want to reiterate what Eiffel and Adele are saying. So basically, there are 3 steps to the donation process, or 3 steps to our gift card drive process. Step 1 is to get the money from our club members and have our club members reach out to their family and friends to also donate. From then, we will use the money that we receive to purchase gift cards, and then we will send those gift cards off to Sunday Friends organization. And yeah, this is the website that Adele created, and I'll let her share now.
Okay, thank you. So here is our website. So we go to the donate section in order to donate to Sunday Friends. Then there is some information if you want to reach out us. So please do this, just email us if you have any questions about it. But as you don't have questions, you can just push the donate button. It will go to the donation summary. So for example, you want to donate about, I don't know, $10, right? And then it says you on the language that you're speaking or you chose to pay through PayPal. So it's in Russian for now, I think so. Oh no, sorry. So pay with debit or credit card. You don't need to log into the PayPal account. Yeah, then you just put your credit card information or debit card is okay. Then the billing address, contact information, and after you can put continue. After continue, there will be like a request to make maybe a PayPal account, but if you don't want, it's okay. So after it, you'll click the bottom submit, like pay, donate. And please, after you make the donation, take a screenshot of it and save it somewhere. So if actually after the donation, you will receive a certificate of participation here. So the certificates will be announced in one date. I think it will be like in 1 month or several weeks. So if we don't receive your donation, please send us your screenshot of submissions of donation, and we'll just reach you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Additionally, there is like a bottom contact. So if you have any questions, you can just contact us here. This is contact info information, and then also you can submit it here. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. So does anyone have any questions so far? Okay. If not,
I would like to add up a bit. So probably you might be asking, so when do we want the fundraiser to end? We haven't write the date yet, but I'm trying to aim for by the end of the March, and either like in the end of the March, or like we could aim for like in the middle of the March as well. And as of as of now, like uh, as of now, we yeah we haven't put the date on where we want the fundraiser to end yet. So you can, if you want, it starts now. You can start donating. And yeah. Mhm.
yeah. So just to kind of recap the whole Sunday Friends donation. So so we are still working on incentives, but we're gonna figure out a way to like as an incentive to encourage you guys to help us fundraise for Sunday Friends. So definitely, in addition to donating on your own if you're able to, we encourage you to reach out to your family and your friends and keep record of the people who donate. And then if you raise a certain amount of money with your family and friends, you'll get a certificate for participating in our fundraiser. All right, and finally, we have virtual ICDC. Oops, okay. So Christy, would you like to go over this, or Karis, would you like to go over this slide? I think you're muted. I think you're muted.
All right, sorry.
It's okay.
So we're going to be DECA is going to be organizing the International Career Development Conference. So I think for whoever who's just trying to expand their connection or just looking for some insights on what to do for their future career, you guys can go ahead and join it to meet more people and also just learn more from different people. So yeah, join this activity.
Yeah, so ICDC, you can also participate in a number of competitions from business to marketing, finance, hospitality. But I'll show you this video. I think it's more information than I can give you in a short time. Here. Well, yeah, that's ICDC. So I definitely hope that you guys look into, I would recommend spending some time on your own to look up to go on Google and type DECA ICDC and go to their website to find out more. During our next meeting, we will give more details, but this is kind of just an intro. And that is it for today. Hopefully you learned from our presenters and gained some insights. If you're not already following De Anza DECA or part of our Discord, just make sure that you check out those links. And does anyone have any questions before we close up this meeting? All right, then that's it for today. Hope you guys all have a wonderful night. Officers just will be staying on for a little bit. But yeah, that concludes our meeting. Thank you for joining.
Oh, and additionally about the website, you could say find the link for our website in Discord, or if you want, we can email it.
Instagram bio.
An Instagram bio.
Yeah.
And that's it for today. Thank you guys for joining. Hello, officers.
Excellent.
How are you guys doing? Oh wait,
Um,
Charlene, you muted.
God.
Hi.
Okay.
So we are good. Did you like the meeting?
Yeah, it was